Hello, and welcome to the Beyond Resilience Life podcast, a show about life adversity, how to overcome it, and transform your life. This is your host, Dr. Lydiana García, a licensed psychologist in Los Angeles, California. And even though my hope is to deliver information that can be helpful for you to overcome adversity and transform your life, it is not meant to be a substitute from being diagnosed and treated by a licensed mental health, medical, and related professional. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Beyond Resilience Life. So today I have this episode that I've been thinking about. We're like almost 7 months. I already stopped counting because it's too overwhelming. And something that I'm noticing in the collective is that many of us started like in a high zone, right? When the whole pandemic started. And we thought that it was going to be like an acute thing. And by now we were all going to like celebrate our half birthdays. We were going to go back into our normal lives. But that has not happened. And it's creating this like from an acute to a chronic, if we want to call it that way, situation. And many of us are starting to experience the heaviness of it more heavy, if that makes sense. And we're like more like in a low zone, like we're starting to like not wanting to do anything, wanting to isolate, not wanting to, starting to lose faith and feeling more like on the depressed side. So if you're listening to me and you've been kind of thinking or considering hurting or harming yourself and you're in the USA, sorry, Susana, and you've been kind of like questioning your life, your worth, and thinking about killing yourself or significantly hurting yourself, you can call, not count, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The phone number is 1-800 273 8255. 1-800 273 8255 is available 24 hours, and the languages are in English, Spanish, and more. So that's a number that I will definitely suggest. There's no shame. It's been really, really hard. Something that I tell my clients is that I feel this pandemic is like putting like a magnifying glass, we say lupa, and like the sun is just like hitting you harder into your old wounds, and it's opening some wounds because the sun is so intense with the magnifying glass. So it's basically like putting up into the surface a lot of things that either were wounds that were not completely healed or old wounds that suddenly are opening. So in basic language, it's just bringing all the shit back up. So that's something that it's really hard for many people, especially with the isolation, because now we have less opportunities to connect in person and use the connection as a preventive mechanism for depression or any kind of other mental health illnesses, or just in general your mental health. So that's why I want us to kind of create an episode to feel more like a respite, to feel like a spa for your mental health. And here's how it's going to go. So it's going to be a 3-part. First, we're going to start with resourcing, and we're going to do 2 different resources, and I'll explain that in a bit. Then we're going to go to talk about, I'm going to guide you through different reflective questions. And if you're part of the Beyond Resilience Life community in the Mighty app, network app, you're going to get a PDF. It's going to be posted there with the questions and some other information that's here about how to create the resources and all that. There's going to be a PDF created, and it's going to be posted there for whoever is part of the Mighty Network app. And our name over there is the Beyond Resilience Life community. So you can find us there. And also the link is here in the show notes. And the third part is going to be a guided meditation to kind of close and finish. So if this is something that you're not interested, just know that that's what's coming. Or if you're preferring to just go straight to the questions and more guided meditation, then also look here in the show notes and you'll see when those start. So you'll be able to fast forward or back to where you want to go. Alrighty. So let's start with the resource. So a resource is anything that kind of makes you feel better in terms, and I'm talking in terms of like imaginative, that you can bring into your awareness. And for many, it could be a person, a place, an experience, an animal, any spiritual guidance, like an angel, or from your spiritual beliefs, anything like that that provides that sense of comfort and makes you feel better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide you with several questions to kind of get and you can explore. First, we're going to start with the safe place, and then we're going to start with the protective figure. Before we proceed, I want to give some caveat, really important. If anything that is said in here triggers you and it brings old memories of stuff, you have a right to just stop the recording and engage in any of the resource and coping skills that work for you. If you need a reference to one, over here in the show notes, I'll be including also the episodes that have several different coping skills that you can do in the moment. Okay. But in general, for the most part, it should feel more on the cozy. But we all have different triggers. So if any of that is not for you, then it's not for you. It doesn't resonate. Okay. So let's start. So we're going to start with the research with the safe place. And with the safe place, what I want you to do as you settle in wherever you are, I want you to kind of like bring into your awareness a place. And it could be any place, either that you've been there, it could be a place that you like via like a movie, a TV show, a place that somebody else shared. So it doesn't have to be a place that you actually have been there. It could be any place. It could be a random place that you create in your own mind. But in general, kind of bring into your awareness somewhere that when you think about it, if you imagine yourself being there, it creates a sense of comfort. And whatever comes into your mind, now I want to kind of expand on it. So I'm going to ask several questions, including what do you see in this place? And you can write that down or just think in your mind. So, what is in there? Is there any nature? Is there any, what are the colors? What are the sounds in this place? Any animals, sounds, or nature sounds, or music? How is the temperature in this place? Is there a cool breeze, a warm breeze? Is it cold? How's the weather in this place? Is it sunny, cloudy, snowy? What are some of the smells in this place? Are there any flower scents or any other kind of nature scents, perfumes, food scent? And try to just imagine or just think what kind of taste would you like to have here? If you would eat in something or you just had an aftertaste, what kind of taste in your mouth would make you feel like adding to the coziness in this place? Okay, so now just bring back the awareness to the whole, to this place, and just know that this place is right in your imagination, even if it's an actual real place. Right now, as you're imagining it and bringing it into your awareness, just notice in your body, how does that feel? Any sense of coziness? There's any smile on your face? Or is there any posture that you're doing in particular? And just keep that in mind. You can stay here and you can pause and just meditate a little bit on it, or we can go on. And now we're going to move into a protective figure. So now I want you to imagine or bring into your awareness when you think of a protected figure, who comes into your mind or who comes if there is more than one. It could be someone from your childhood, it could be or from your adulthood, a friend, but in general, it has to have that quality that you feel protected by this figure. It could be an animal, it could be a non-living figure that makes you feel safe. I'm just thinking for some people like a jewelry or an item that has spiritual significance for you. It could also be like from your spiritual perspective, if you believe in angels or just God or energy or however you want to call if you have a higher power. So now come back into whoever came into your mind when you thought of protective and try to identify these figures or figure and also try to explore what are the qualities that this figure have that makes you feel protected. And also try to also explore about how does your body feel? Like tap now back into your body when you bring into your awareness this protected figure. And if for any reason the resource of the protected figure started to get like, for whatever reason, maybe you missed this person or something, and it started to go into like more of grief or sadness, then that's what we call a mixed resource. And you have the opportunity to come back and shift your awareness either to a new protected figure or just the sense of protection in your body. And if that is not enough, then you can come back to that safe place that you just explore. That's your choice. Okay, as we're ending this part, kind of bring again into your awareness your protected figure or figures and just have that, in your awareness and how they make you feel. And you can pause it here and you can keep delving in it in terms of more stuff that you want to explore about your protected figures, or we can move on. Now we're moving into the reflective question. So as you settle in, whether you have a piece of paper or just in your mind with a pen, if you have the piece of paper or with a crayon, whatever, crayon because my son, yeah, whatever method of writing you want to have. So we're going to go into this process. I'm going to ask several questions and we're going to go from the body to our thoughts. And there's no right or wrong answer. And you can do this several times on different occasions and new stuff might come. So just know that, it's just more for you to reflect and see what resonates and if there's any messages that are coming for you. So we're going to start with, how does your body feel right now? How does it feel? Where does it feel it? Any kind of sensations that your body has. And as you think about these sensations and feelings in your body, do they intensify? Do they lessen? Just notice. Now ask yourself, what does my body, this feeling, this sensation, want from me right now? And if there are several different areas, you can ask to each one of them, what does my body need right now? And then ask yourself, how can I satisfy this need, even if it's in a little? Like perhaps you're doing something right now and you cannot completely do the full need, but if you can commit to doing something right now, even if it's like a little piece of that need to satisfy that need, what would it be? Any movement, any changing, stopping the audio and doing something else, whatever it is, if you can honor it, even if it's in a small scale. And if you do it, notice, how does your body feel afterward? Now let's move into feelings. How do you feel right now? What this feeling is here to tell me, if anything, or to teach me. Just listen what this feeling is here to tell you or teach you, and or what is the need behind it. Many times we have feelings because there are some unfulfilled needs, like physical needs, feelings of connection, feeling respected, loved, appreciated, validated. There's so many. I will also be adding like a list of needs in the Mighty Network app for the Beyond Resilience Life community. But in general, what is behind this feeling? And how can you satisfy this need, even if it's in a smaller scale? How can you satisfy this need right now or very soon? Now let's move about our thoughts. What are you thinking right now? What's coming up into your mind? What are these thoughts trying to convey, if anything? Are they sending you a message about, like, alerting you about something? What is the need, if any, that is unfulfilled, that it's kind of behind these thoughts, if any? And what can you do to help attend to what these thoughts are trying to convey or the need that it's trying to fulfill? What can you do, even if it's in a small scale? Okay, so here's again another part where you can either stop the recording and stay here and go deeper, or if you want to join me, we can move on to the guided meditation. So as we settle in, this would be a great time that either you're sitting or laying, or you're walking and taking a very slow walk out of like main distractions as much as possible. And as you do that, I want you to start notice and imagining that you feel pulled down into the earth and you're noticing from your head all the way to your toes. And you're noticing how your toes are making contact with whether shoes or the floor, the ground, the grass. But try to imagine like your feet making contact. And if your legs are crossed and you're sitting in a chair, then press your feet against the ground. If you're sitting and you have crossed legs, like meditation, cross legs, you want to push with your hands. But I'm just like, how can you make contact with the earth somehow, even if it's the floor in your house or outside in a patio. And as you do that, also notice your breath. You can either close your eyes if that feels soothing and safe for you, or you can just keep them open and just lower your gaze to a specific point in your room or where you are. And visualize white or gold light coming all the way from your head. It's entering your body. And as it goes down to your extremities and body, it's taking away all the tension, it's melting it out. And the tension is coming down through your feet, through your hands in the floor, and it's also expanding via your heart. For those of you that the Care Bears, it's something like a show that you used to watch. Then it's kind of like imagine the Care Bear, a Care Bear just kind of like radiating light through the heart. And as you do that, also inhale through your nose and imagine that you're inhaling through your nose, but it's coming through your heart, and exhaling through your mouth. So it's just inhale and exhale via your heart. And I would like you to imagine that you are walking into a beautiful garden, kind of like the secret garden, that there's like a little door that you discovered among the bushes. And as you're opening this door, you're going in and you're kind of noticing the flowers, the scent in there. And like all the way at the end, there's like a little room, like a gazebo or something like that. And it has like a round, big table. And as you get closer to that table and chairs, you notice that there's some people sitting in that table. And these people are different protective figures. It could be any higher self, any spiritual guidance, loved ones that want the best for you. And you can feel as many shares as you notice that are getting filled by these people or these speakers. And you're going to kind of like say hi to them in whatever way resonates with you. And then you're going to sit down. And for a second, you're going to look around and notice each person that is sitting there is protected person, people that feel safe for you, people that you trust, people that have the best interest for you, that love you. And as you do that, I want you to ask a question about something that's going on with you right now. Maybe ask for support, guidance, and just ask the question. And now you're going to hear the responses from each person that is sitting in the table. They're all going to go one at a time and just receive their message. If you got all the answers, then I invite you this time to just receive their messages, their love, and their support, and thank them. And this would be a good time that if you want to pause this, you can pause it and write down in case you don't want to forget any of the messages that you got. If not, then just let's go back into the guided visualization and imagine yourself standing, saying goodbye, and walking back to the entrance to this garden and noticing how it looks again, all the different scents. Notice the small door where you came through. Try to take a minute or a second to kind of like just sink it in and exit the place. And as you exit the place, you're going to come back to the present. You're going to come back to right now. You're noticing hearing my voice. Start wiggling your toes or your fingers. Stretch if you have to. And you can journal more about it. And thank you. Alrighty. So I hope this was helpful and you took a little break for yourself. If you did the three of them, or if you just did one part of it, I just want to honor you. It takes so much to do something for ourselves nowadays. There's so many distractions. And for those of you that are at home, if you have children and you're juggling many different things, or if you're at home by yourself and you're juggling all the intrusive negative thoughts that probably are coming because of everything the same. So taking this time for you and honoring the rest and the importance of nurturing yourself. It's so important. I want to remind you that you're not alone in this journey. I know I cannot necessarily be in presence with you, like physical presence, but I'm here via my voice and I am with you in this we're together in this difficult, crazy times. And as long as we continue to move in terms of like honoring what we need, nurturing ourselves, I really hope that you're okay. Thank you for listening. Now I'll do a little bit of some reminders and announcements. So the first one would be that there, again, like I mentioned, there's going to be a PDF with some of these questions so you can fill out some information if you're more of a writer than an auditory. But that will be via the Beyond Resilience Live community in the Mighty Network app right here in the show notes. The second one is this episode is going to air and this Thursday, October, in 2 weeks. Give me one sec. I'll tell you right now, I should have got that right beforehand. Okay, the 29th. So it's going to air next week. So the following week, Thursday the 29th, at 5 to 6:15 Pacific time, I'm going to be hosting a support group for women, and it's going to be max 10 space and slots. There's going to be one in October, which is the 29th. There's going to be another one on the 19th of November. And then there's going to be another one in December. Right now, on top of my head, I can't remember the date. But to get at that information, you can find it right here in the show notes. To sign up is $40. And again, there's only 10 spots. And there has to be at least 5 in order for it to be held. So if you know anybody that would like to join, please let them know. Thank you so much for listening to the Beyond Resilience Life podcast. I'm so happy to have you here. If you like this episode, please make sure to review it and comment on it and share it with your friends and family. Until next time.